they said, "You better thank God for that food. You better thank God. You better thank God." And it's like,
Like the
yeah, these people are insanely crazy. 'Cause it's like,
true.
you're older than me and you live longer than me, so you probably committed more sins than me anyway.
Yeah, and you still believe in Santa Claus too.
See,
Yeah,
you know, like these
it's
people,
I mean,
like
that's a fair point. I never thought about it.
everywhere they
Yeah,
go, it's
it's not
so
the best thing,
embarrassing to
but
be around them because you go everywhere
this is so
being
good.
like, oh, I'm so religious. I'm so religious. Like, oh my God. You're like,
Oh my
really?
god, that's
Like,
amazing.
come the hell on. You know,
Dude, this guy
like,
needs
it
more
just makes
subs.
no sense. Like, it really doesn't make any sense at all.
This
Like, you
gameplay
just
mode
go
was really cool
everywhere
too.
doing that, and it's like,
Oh, what the fuck is this
you
shit?
sound crazy. You sound dumb.
Oh,
Not everybody has the same religion, and not
yeah.
everybody agrees with your religion.
Yeah, but you know what all religions sort of have in common? This is the only true religion. Because, like, I mean, it wouldn't even really make sense if it wasn't that way, right? Like, Allah is the only true God. God is the only. I mean, fucking Christ. Yeah, he's the only true God. Yeah, what fucking sense does that make? Well, one of you motherfuckers is right, dude, or maybe none of y'all are right. I mean, yeah, religion is sort of our way because we're all the same human species, right? So it would make sense that whoever makes any religion, they just come up with some bullshit that's gonna satisfy our fucking human needs, right? Because, dude, it's so fucking. Yeah, it's really late, but I'm high as fuck. But yeah, like, what the fuck do we need? Oh, well, I don't know. We tend to be fucking beta. That's a big thing within the human species. We're all fucking beta and cucks. We sort of want someone to, like, lead us. We all want to have somebody who we know is all powerful, who we know is all just. Somebody to look up to, right? So, like, wolves in wolf packs. Yeah, that's God food right there. Somebody who's gonna ensure that everything is made right in the end. All of the fucking injustices of life, oh well, yeah, it'll all be made right in the end. Because, I mean, yeah, life sorta isn't fair, and who wouldn't want to cloak themselves from that? Like, yeah.
A reasonable, a reasonable.
It's like, of course, everybody who, like, yeah, everything is made right. So every bad person ends up, like, going to hell or whatever. Well, that's fucking perfect, right? Because nobody believes they're bad fucking person. So, yeah, like, like, any confrontation, you could just end that off with two people going away thinking, oh, well, that person's going to go to hell. Because who the hell thinks they're going to go to hell, right? So. Yeah, that's a win-win for fucking everybody, dude.
Person would say, I have my religious beliefs,
What the
you have your
kill
own
yourself?
beliefs. I'm sticking to my beliefs. I leave you alone. I won't bother you.
I mean,
And we
what?
be normal.
No, to be fair, that's sort of what Christians say of like fundamentalist Christian people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's probably what they'll say. Like, dude, atheists, they don't give a shit about your religious liberties, right? When, like, religious liberties probably help atheists the most because, like, they're in the minority and it gives them the fucking right to also not practice a religion. So, like, atheists would probably have, like, the most fucking reason to want religious liberties because it gives them, like, exemptions from having to be religious. But how the fuck is this at 4 views from 21? Oh yeah, because I haven't refreshed this shit. And yeah,
you know. But you know, because some old like family members, older family members, like parents or grandparents, will try to dictate their kids' beliefs as an adult, and it's like
I mean,
the guy or boy or girl or
yeah. To
lady.
be fair, you should, like, as a parent, of course, your beliefs are gonna, like, translate onto your kids and shit. Like, what else are you gonna fucking teach them? But yeah, that's what you should have to explain to them. Whether it be like if they make a mistake, if you wanna give them orders, unless it's like right now you have to follow it. I'll explain later. Like, you have to explain it to them. Otherwise, they won't grow to fucking know why you shouldn't do that or why this is that way. Like, yeah, what's the point of like shoving an opinion down them or shoving like orders down them if you like yeah if you constantly tell your kids, oh well, you shouldn't do this, and then what you do to enforce your fucking authority is either terrorize them by like enforcing what's it called like physical punishments, like you fucking beating your kid, you slapping them across the face, like that type of shit. Well, what message does that send to them? Oh well, I shouldn't do that because if I get caught, that fucking sucks. Oh well, why shouldn't I run across the road as there are fucking cars and shit? Oh fuck, if I get caught, I'll be fucking hit. Like, is that the type of way you wanna like teach your kids to think of not to do things that they shouldn't do? Oh, if I get caught, it'll fucking suck. Because when you punish them that way, that's sort of like how you raise them, right? But
She's like,
yeah, like of course, if you're gonna push down your opinions, like you should at least bother, right? It's your kids. It's worth like spending your time on. It's worth you fucking like putting the energy and just explain to them why this is your opinion. That way they can learn to disagree with you, think for themselves and shit.
like he or
What's cool?
she. The I'm sorry,
What,
like they're
bro? Wait,
18 now.
wait. What the fuck happened? I had a daily reward of like fucking 300. What? How in the fuck did it get back to zero? I'm confused. Oh, dude, I want to fucking kill
Or
myself
they're
right now.
19 or they're 20 something years old. You can't tell them what to believe in, and you can't force them to go to church.
No,
Okay?
I
Like when
mean,
you
to be
get the hell
honest,
over it,
yeah, to be honest, like, one of the big ways that religions prevail when, like, I mean, they are a very great way to get people to shield people from the, like, harshness and, like, what's it called? I'm so high. Like the fucking injustices of life, right? But then, like, you know how they enforce making like religions that are so obviously self-contradictory in every fucking respect? Because, like, yeah, this perfect being sort of made what the Holocaust, they made bad people. Like, God is like this perfect guy who just made his kids to fucking yeah, be suffering that much. And, like, I don't know how God's like your parent, but he's the perfect parent, right? So you'd imagine if your kids are out there killing one another, if your little kid is running in front of a car, right? You won't just let him do it because fucking free will, dude. That's the most important thing. No, that's not the most important thing. Any good parent gets that. Like, you see your little kid running in front of a car. No, their well-being takes priority over their fucking free will, because you can use your free will to do things that you'd end up regretting, because you fucking are like, you don't know as much as your fucking parents do, and your parents don't know as much as God does in this case. Like, that's why we have a fucking law, right? Because, well, yeah, we need people to have some authority over us. Because if we just let everybody, like, if we go with God's rule, the only thing God had to offer to us, fucking anarchy, right? Free will, do whatever you want. It's better than like restraints on your well-being. Well, anarchy doesn't really tend to work well, so yeah, that's why we go with fucking laws. But yeah, the like, despite how fucking obviously stupid all this shit is, like, oh, free will is more important than your well-being. Like, as if that's not the whole point of parents, is to make sure, oh well, since you're not developed enough, your mind isn't developed enough to know what's fucking good for you, we're gonna put restrictions on your free will because you are not perfect. And if somebody exists who's more perfect, say your parents, they have a more perfectly understanding of like the world and how shit's supposed to work, what's good for you, what's bad for you. That's why they have authority over you until they can get you to like the best point they can get you. Say, like, when you're an adult and you can start making these decisions for yourself. Like, obviously, if a god was there to restrain us, or like before we like go on a tangent to become bad people and all, he actually refrained us from doing that. If God's all powerful, why don't bad people? Why doesn't he come and fucking help them? Like, I completely get that. Like, I know some would argue, oh well, like, an all good God can't create like bad people. Like, how could an all perfect being create anything that's imperfect? Well, I would disagree, because obviously, like, good and bad exist on a spectrum, right? Like, I mean, I talk about this shit, right? You can't fucking have good without having bad, because how can you fucking, like, you can't learn to value something that's good if you don't have anything to compare it to, if you don't have like bad to be able to say, oh well, this is good compared to that. Like otherwise, yeah, like you sort of get what I mean, right? Like people who were born into just having the best fucking life, to them that's default, that's normal, they don't know anything but that. But yeah, somebody who's always lived in fucking ruins, all of a sudden they get to enjoy that. Well, that's why they're gonna enjoy it so much, because it. So yeah, like without bad, there's no way to appreciate good. Like that just doesn't even make sense. But yeah, like I don't know why the fuck I was going on with it, but the whole point, right? How people fucking indoctrinate, how these religions prevail, because I mean we all want to think there's, oh yeah, something so good that's gonna like take care of us, but at the end of the day we end up being adults and it's like, oh well, Santa Claus isn't gonna fucking work anymore, right? But how do these religions prevail? Oh well, if you don't believe in God, if you abandon God, you'll go to fucking hell, motherfucker. So you better not. Oh well, what do you know? In the Bible, there's a verse that says, "Don't question God ever. You don't question His authority or His like, yeah, you don't question anything He is or did, or His all powerfulness and all great. Yeah, you don't question that shit. It's like, well, how fucking convenient, dude. You don't question any of that shit. Well, what do you know? Maybe that's why these religions prevail. Like, of course, if you made a scripture and you wanted people to like follow it and believe in it, and you sort of know, yeah, this isn't true. I fucking know because I would be the only one who would know that it's not true, better than fucking anybody, right? So, yeah, of course you'd be like, don't fucking question it. Why would you say that? Well, I mean, isn't God supposed to like want you to, like, even Christians say that? Oh, God really wants you to uh like question everything and like, no. If it says in the Bible you shouldn't question God's fucking existence and perfection, otherwise you're sinning or you will go to hell, fucking whatever. It's like, no, he definitely doesn't want you to like see you and like, I don't know, question him. Like if you're right, if you, and I talked about this in my misinformation video, right? But if you're right, the truth is the only defense, right? So why would you have a problem with people spreading false things if you could just like debunk it? That like that makes more sense. You're only making yourself look guilty by saying don't ask these questions. If, well, the answer to these questions isn't, oh well, shit, this picture is fucking bullshit. This isn't true. Like if if the truth is what you claim it is, you wouldn't have a problem with questions. But yeah,
You
anyway.
should like you can't have a huge fit that they don't want to go to
Oh
church
fuck,
no
dude, I
more
lost my data
because
wallet.
it's like
It's great.
they're old enough to have their own beliefs now. So it's like, you know,
Yeah, but I'm guessing that's why parents
like
would enforce. Uh,
you see what I mean?
mm,
Like somebody tried to do that to
yeah,
me. Like me, I'm already
I don't know.
18.
Yeah, I sort of get it, but then like parents are probably doing that out of like, I don't know, if they care about their kid, they don't like, they care about their kid's well-being and they don't want to see their kid end up in fucking hell. So yeah, that's why shit like this is indoctrination. Like you'd think, oh well, that's extremely immoral. People should get to choose to think. Well, yeah, parents aren't gonna see it that way because they're gonna see it as, dude, I don't want my kid to go to hell, and this would be immoral because if God says it's immoral, then it fucking is. And yeah, I made my point. All right, let's continue.
I've been 18 for a few weeks, and somebody called me, a family member, saying, "Why aren't you at the church?
What the
I want
fuck?
to see you going to church.
XD.
You know, we want to see you in church."
Hell
It's
yeah.
like you can't force me any.
Which is so fucking boring. Why do, dude? They should like. I swear they're so fucking lazy with this shit. They should have made church be like something entertaining to like stimulate me, because just bro, go to church, you'll go to hell, dude. That's not good enough. Make church actually be entertaining. Be it's like
anyway. So
yeah,
it's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing you can do. You can't force me, you know. And that's the thing. Like these people yell in your face, they do shit like that.
yeah. To be fair, there are going to be more religious people who are going to be in your face telling you that you have to be religious than like atheists fucking telling you have to be non-religious. But like to be fair, everybody I've ever seen, they just don't really care. They like do whatever you want to do. But like yeah, I guess if it's his family, like if your family is religious, the stakes are probably a lot different. But yeah, just like a little bit of additional context because no one cares. Yeah, I'm guessing if you're someone like me who's like everybody in their family is fucking atheist, you're atheist. You just I know I moved to the U.S. when I was 6. No, nobody's ever really given a shit or tried to tell me I have to be religious. But yeah, I'm guessing if it's in your family, that might be a little
Like,
different.
you ever been a kid and these people are all up in your face, literally harassing you?
Harassing you, that's
They
epic.
will stalk you if you don't believe in their religion.
No, I haven't seen that. To be fair,
These people will stalk you,
huh?
you know? Like,
Dude, it's
these
the
people
fucking Illuminati. Dude, the Illuminati isn't interested in me, but they are interested in him. Like,
are
my
in your
man's.
face, stalking you,
Damn.
doing shit like that. Like, it's insane. It's so ridiculous.
Hmm.
Like, you see what I mean?
Oh,
Thing
yeah,
is,
dude.
like,
No, I get
for
it.
example, the Christians,
Okay.
right? These are the people who think the earth is 6,000 years old.
No, yeah. I thought he was about to say the earth is flat. Apparently, yeah, that's written in the Bible, but like, and it's so weird because there are so many things in the Bible, and like thank fuck things are that way. I mean, yeah, you would not want all Christians to think gays go to hell or some shit, right? But like, dude, there are so many things in both the Bible and the Quran that like thank fuck most people they do not believe in it fucking at all. Wait, what did he just say right there?
Who think the earth
Yeah, like I mean, I'm pretty sure it's also written that the Earth is plan. I saw a quote from there. I'm not too sure now, but like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they say the Earth is flat too. There's overwhelming evidence that the fucking dinosaurs. Now, I'm guessing most Christians they believe in all this shit. They don't believe the Earth is 6,000 years old. But yeah, I guess it says that. It also says that if you don't believe, you go to hell. I doubt most Christians think that. Apparently, if you're gay, you go to hell. And I doubt most Christians think that. And like, it's the same thing in the Quran. It says pretty much the same shit, but like a little bit worse, right? Like maybe a lot worse. I'm not sure, but like either way, that's already pretty bad. But most people, and at least Muslims in the United States, they, dude, I hope with this shit of fucking Gaza, the like anti-Muslim fucking hatred doesn't start spreading and all. But like, yeah, like there's a lot of like shitty things in Islam too, which like most people, at least over here, who practice their religion, they don't really believe
is
in it.
6,000 years old. Also, right, the Bible also said the
Oh fuck.
earth is in the center of the universe.
Oh yeah, I actually just looked at it because it always made sense. I was just having a discussion with like a Christian like person who but I've made a new friend group around my fucking college, which is fucking awesome. Imagine me having friends. Like holy shit, that fucking happened, right? Like yeah, but yeah, I was just discussing with them. I don't know where it started, but yeah, like oh, we're in the center of the universe. That's sort of what God said. I looked that up, and I was sure, like, dude, didn't Galileo get fucking prosecuted for saying that's not true? But yeah, apparently it's just some wing of Christianity. Like I know there's Catholics, there's Protestants, there's Baptists, there's fucking all that shit. Yeah, apparently it's just a wing of that. I have no fucking clue, but that would make sense. That God would say that. So I don't fucking know. I looked it up because I was sure, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, but for some reason I couldn't find a verse on it. So I don't fucking know. I don't know if it.
See,
So
so that shows how stupid it is. That's why I don't believe in that shit. Cause like their God is self contradicting and does.
oh yeah, dude, you must love God, you must fear God, and there is no fear in love. Dude, every scripture that's gonna be that long, made so long ago, is gonna be contradicting in like a million fucking ways, right? But dude, wait, let me just grab my vape real quick. Dude, there's a and my weed, yeah, hell yeah. Dude, there's a lot more shit to like not believe in God. Um, Firstly, you don't assume something is true without evidence. You don't assume anything is true without evidence. That's why the atheist position, it's like, I don't know, when I bring up, dude, all these religions, and it's like, you're assuming yours is true. Like, a lot of the time, people are gonna be like, well, you're assuming fucking atheism is true, motherfucker. And it's like, no, that's just the default stance that you don't assume anything is true without evidence. Like, that's the atheist position. It's not some other position that's just as likely as like any other, like any religion. No, it's just the assumption. I don't like assume anything is true unless I fucking know it is true. That's like a whole different fucking thing. But yeah, the fact that all religions are sort of crafted, if you look at them, like you look at when they were made, and it's like, well, obviously the fucking beliefs espoused in the religion tend to sort of like revolve around what they would have believed back in the day. Like apparently there's written in the Quran like don't eat pork or whatever the fuck, and it's like, oh, apparently back then like the way they knew how to cook pork or whatever like it'd give them diseases if they ate it. So like there are some things written in the Bible, the Quran that like, oh well, back in the day it would have made sense because that's based on back then. But then the Bible just assumes God is all knowing, God is all fucking powerful, knows all this shit. Like in pretty much every holy scripture. But then like, oh well, we later found out that wasn't fucking true. So like every religion, another thing we want to really satisfy is our curiosity, right? That's another big reason why religion exists. Like who the fuck wants to wait a million years to know what all those stars are because human evolution is slow? Who the fuck wants that? Who the fuck wants to face death? Like complete annihilation of everything you've ever been, dude. You wouldn't delete any of your Minecraft worlds that you've worked fucking 3 hours on. I fucking wouldn't. Dude, who the fuck would want to delete their life, right? Like, better go with an illusion. But, like, dude, religion's so legit crafted around, like, just uh, yeah, answering all of our topic, like making sure everything that we can't really satisfy with science or with how modern science was back in the day, we can satisfy it with this. Like, well, if we're lonely, oh well, we're never really alone. There's always someone who understands us. No one could really understand you because, like, who you are, what you feel, it's all based on your fucking experiences and how like your unique fucking perspective on life, how life has come to treat you. But oh, God apparently knows everything. That leaves you a lot less lonely and shit. Like all of these things, the fear of death, the will for retaliation since life is unjust and shit, like all of the negative aspects that come with life. Life is unfair. Life wasn't created for us to fucking be like perfectly at home in it because there was no God. Well, like yeah, religions sort of try to go around the fact that life is so unfair, and well, that's why religious people tend to be happier on average. But yeah, when you start looking into it, like, oh well, these religions they were cramped. Oh well, to feed our curiosity, since we couldn't know what all those stars were back in the day. Oh well, God sort of told us what they were because modern science wasn't about to fucking figure that out. But then when people try to speculate, because like they aren't trying to feed their curiosity. Everyone wants to feed their curiosity, and it fucking burns to think I won't get to know what the answer to any of these questions are. When you try to fabricate some thing that you end up believing in, like this isn't based on objectivity. You're not making assessments based on like what you should expect the objective facts to be. Like religion isn't even like an educated guess as to what all this should be. It's just like us putting our feelings ahead of fact and like, oh well, what would we want life to be like? What would we want the true reality, the true uh stuff to be like? And a lot of the time, it's like it's so too good to be fucking true that it just doesn't make
Does
sense.
not make sense because
Oh,
they
oh,
say the Earth is in the center of the universe, when in reality it's the sun. The sun
like yeah, religion is legit just based on what we would want to see because it's really an effort to like cope with the harsh realities by not fucking coping with it and just deluding ourselves. So of course, like if you want to see how religion is crafted, just like work backwards from that. Like how would somebody want to delude themselves? What would help them cope the most? And like, well, there you go. You end up with religions. That's like the template for you right there. And all of them fucking follow that shit, dude. All of them like they aren't gonna have like, oh well, this is the hard truth, this is the all of this shit on God is all just like, and of course religion, that's why Christianity is so prevalent, right?
sun is the center of the universe. That's basic science. That's something you learn in elementary school. But for some reason, the
What, that God is in the center of the what?
Bible is telling you that the earth is in the center of the universe.
I have no fucking clue if the Bible really says that. I sort of, dude, I would have agreed with you like 2 days ago, but now I'm not sure anymore. I'm not fucking sure. Maybe that was just like the church with Galileo. I don't know.
See how wrong the Bible was on that? And
Yeah, the Bible's wrong on a lot of things that, again, like feeding our curiosity. That's because the Bible wasn't meant to make an educated guess. It was meant to like make up for our insecurities and shit. Well, what's one of the big things that we hate about our reality? We don't get to know everything, and humans are curious. Again, that's one of the biggest aspects of us. Is as much as we're collaborative and we are like empathetic, we want justice, we want the best for everyone around us, and religion gives us that. We also like, how did we come to develop so much? Because we're so fucking curious and shit. That's how we developed society to what it is now, because we want to know everything. That's also in our nature. And God, of course, like you look at the origins, God explains a lot of things that modern science couldn't explain, but well, guess what? A faulty part of that is, oh well, eventually modern science is gonna disprove some of the shit that like religion comes up with, because like that shit gets updated, science gets updated, and that's why you should probably follow that instead, because well, maybe it's not like maybe religion is ahead in a lot of things, because well, yeah, it's gonna be hard to like recraft the best fucking version of the truth you could come up with just some that's advancing objectively as you fucking explore it. Oh well, do we have the answers to this? Oh well, we could make up that we do, and make up a reason to be fine that we don't. Oh well, God will explain it to us once we die if we care so much and all. It's like, yeah, we should probably go with modern science first, but
the Bible's wrong about the earth being 6,000 years old. You know, there's other fucked
yeah.
up stuff in the Bible. I'm about to read something from
Oh fuck.
Genesis.
Oh fuck. What is it? The gays. Is it about the
Behold,
gays?
now I have two daughters, which not known, which have
I
not known
swear the fucking Bible a lot of the time just sounds like, fucking Hamlet. Anybody read Hamlet? I haven't. I have been assigned reading Hamlet, and I didn't fucking I tried reading it. It They should rewrite the book in English, otherwise I will never read it. Either way, I'm never gonna read it. It's boring as fuck. But yeah, it sort of sounds like that. It's like, dude, can't they just give you an English translation? Or did people back then like not know how to speak language yet? Like they just spoke in mumbo jumbo, like the fucking apes. It's like, dude, what the fuck is, dude? I don't get this
man.
shit.
Let me, I pray, you bring them out on to you.
Are you trying to like make fun of God's like speech impediment that sort of shows in his writing or whatever the fuck? It's like, I don't even know what the fuck this phrase means. Am I gonna read it? Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it again. What the fuck did it? To me, all this shows is that God is mental disabled.
Unknown man, let me, I pray, you bring them out on to you, and do ye them as good as good in your eyes.
Bro, this isn't this guy cynical and realist, like just the fucking dripping or something. No, this is actually, this sounds retarded because God fucking wrote it, not because he said it, because God wrote it. Okay, just quick disclaimer right here, dude. Yeah, the Bible is filled with shit that just, what the fuck even does that mean in English? Please, like, we're supposed to have an English translation. Like, me, dude, fuck. Maybe I get what people mean when they say, oh, well, if you really want to know what the Bible really says or what the Quran really says, just learn this other fucking language, right? If the Bible says kill the gays, well, you just need to learn another language and just then read the Bible again in this language and tell me the Bible still says kill the gays. You won't fucking do that, will you? Because you just don't want to acknowledge the truth. Or who knows, maybe you have other things to do with your life. But like, either way, like, great fucking comeback, right? Like, but then it's like, dude, shit, like, it's hard to think such a book became so prevalent and stayed so prevalent when it's like you saw of the great ultimate of me. It's like, dude, this fucking mentally disordered. I could have written this shit. I could have written this shit when I was 4.
Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came
Yeah, I
under
swear to God.
the shadow of my roof. See, that's a Bible quote from Genesis
Yeah,
19.
I don't think that's the worst quote. I think this is sort of just like a, I don't know, a great like display of God's, he's sort of slow. Like, he's nobody is like, everybody's more slow than him. Of course, he's perfect, but damn, dude, if this is perfection, that sort of lowers my hope for humanity. Fuck.
8. See, like, the Bible does talk about how you can sell your daughter in the Bible.
Oh, that's what it said. Bro, I like, it was just so non-English sounding that I just zoned out. I wasn't even trying to understand what the fuck it was saying. I just couldn't help but dude, I have ADHD pretty bad and fucking autism too. I was just like, dude, oh my god. This is supposed to be English. People fucking follow this shit. What the fuck?
The Bible says you can sell your daughter.
Huh. I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, again, the moral values back then were very different from what they are now, and that's like one of the most glaringly obvious like what's it called, backups from religions. What's it called, like dude, I can't find the word. One of the most obvious like red flags about religion, if you look at it, our moral values have evolved a lot, talking very fast since the past few centuries. Like, our rate of acceptance, humanity has been shifting exponentially towards becoming more and more advanced in our technology, more and more advanced in our like humanitarian consideration for other people, such as, well, the gays, we're accepting them more. Well, that's new, and that's not a very good look for God, right? Because, I mean, yeah, he could sort of cope, but we're not with him on this one, dude. Even Christians aren't with him. Christians don't agree with him. They probably think, oh well, God doesn't actually hate the gays. That's just misinformation or whatever. Yes, see, they don't agree with you, dude. Even Christians don't agree with you, and that's sort of the thing. Like, our moral values evolve over time, and when you look at something that's old, like, God doesn't actually know the past, present, and future, and otherwise, the scripture, like what we would consider today to be all moral, would probably not have been considered to be all moral back then, and it probably wouldn't have done well with people back then, right? So, like, yeah, that's another big tell on religions. Like, oh well, this shit doesn't look like someone who's perfectly moral to me. Somebody who's in favor of just collective punishment, just like on Gaza. Apparently, there was something where, oh well, humans are just so despicable. I know I made them, but like, oh well, they're just so bad. I'm just gonna like punish all of them and get like one of every species, even though I could just recreate them. Well, I don't know, dude. I'm not gonna bother wasting my time with this shit. One of every this and that. One randomly will be selected to have a chance. It's not like Adam and Eve. They were the only ones who got a chance to prove themselves, and everybody else has to suffer for their fucking sins. It's not like what Democrats want to do with us because fucking our ancestors, white people, fucking slave owners, and like therefore we have to pay compensations because we did slavery, right? Okay, like that's not a God's thing with. Oh well, Adam and Eve. I fucking created them in my own vision, in my perfect vision, and they disobeyed me. What the fuck was this glitch in my thing? I didn't make this glitch. It fucking made itself, dude. What the fuck is that? Even I don't know. Even I can't explain that. But you know what? Since I can't explain that, like maybe God is some human nature. He decided not to blame it on himself, even though like he's all powerful. And like there's really no one else to blame when like he has his status, right? But it's like, oh well, it's your fucking fault, even though I created you in my image. And then like let's just like punish everybody who comes after you. Like they're sort of guilty by for not even association. There's no association. Guilty by I'm fucking retarded, so they're guilty, pretty much. What the fuck is a scientific snitch? I've never heard that term. Dude, that is audio cut out. Oh,
Here's another Bible
oh,
verse.
he was
This
looking.
is from Leviticus.
Oh shit, okay. Leviticus.
As your male and female slaves, whom you may
Oh yeah, I forgot the Bible actually promotes slavery.
have,
Dude,
you
this guy looked into
may
this.
buy male and female slaves among the nations that are around you.
Dude, vegan games actually brought this shit up, and I completely forgot. Like, yeah, you can have slaves. The Bible was like pro-slavery.
So the
Yeah,
Bible
like another thing that, oh well, we might have been like, oh well, that's acceptable back in the day, but like anybody today would be like, oh, this came from an all. I mean, like I agree with objective morality because when you look in, I mean that's one of the big things. People will say, oh well, objective morality. You believe morality is subjective. Oh well, anybody has like a huge variety of moral fucking compasses. Some people think it's okay to murder, so if morality is subjective, then morality pretty much doesn't have any fucking meaning, right? Like it's just what you think. But then there's like a collective understanding that this and this are bad, this and this are good. It's like obviously morality is like morality wouldn't say, oh well, it's moral to fucking kill people, to do things that are objectively bad. It's like no, that makes no sense. So of course I believe in objective morality, and the reasoning for that, you buddy, it's pretty clear, right? If you're an atheist, what is objective morality? Well, it's pretty objective, right? That you can feel pain, you can feel negative and positive stimulation. Like people will tend to want positive stimuli, they will want to feel good, and they can understand that, oh well, I value this, I value my own well-being. Like this is an objective thing. If you are feeling pain, this pain is objective. In fact, you can measure it in your brain. You are feeling this pain. This pain isn't like oh well, is it real? I don't know. It might not really be real. You might not be suffering depending on who's fucking thinking about it. Like yeah, pain is objective. Everybody experiences that. In fact, that's a part of Darwin evolution to be able to go to, well, what is painful? Things that will tend to hurt you that you should stay away from. So it gives you an alert. So this pain is not only objective, but it has a fucking source. It has a cause, and you can see, oh well, there's a reason for this too. So there's no reason to think it'd be random or subjective. No, it's true. And well, what is the human species? What is our most important thing that got us to like being able to develop that much? Well, collaboration. Like apes and all, they don't, like no other species works in collaboration as well as we do. Like all of the huge scientific developments, like the society we built, we were able to make all these accomplishments by fucking being a collaborative species. That's one of our strongest fortes, one of our strongest qualities as a species, right? So yeah, what the fuck type of tangent was I going
does
on? Dude, oh my god, I'm trying to find what the fuck I was saying. Yeah, yeah, objective morality, right? So, yeah, that's how we, by being collaborative, that's the quality that got us to where we are. So how do we get there? Well, that starts with empathy. And what is empathy? Well, it's recognizing our objective state of well-being, like pain, negative stimuli, positive stimuli, what makes us happy, what makes us unhappy. We can like categorize those, right? And with empathy, we can stretch that to other people and realize, oh, well, if we value our own well being so much, if we want to value other people, we should value their well being and um, like have a problem with their suffering just as much as our own suffering based on the moral worth of these people. So there has to be some reciprocity, of course. But like, yeah, it's sort of our structure of ex- like expressing this what's it called, this pain, this like negative stimuli in 3D, right? Like take it up a notch in dimension, bring it up to like everybody, since everybody can experience that, and then put an equilibrium, like what is the best balance to optimize well-being, especially to those who deserve it? What are the like qualification factors for deserving it? Well, reciprocity. If you treat others the way you want to be treated, then it's fair, like to treat others the way they treat you. That's also fair. So you deserve, if you care about others' sufferings, you deserve more of your suffering taken into consideration. Shit like that. And well, if you look at morality on a large scale, people tend to disagree on a lot, but like at baseline, we tend to all agree on basic things that are the basis for morality, such as well, don't hurt somebody who didn't hurt you. Live and let live. Treat others the way, like, yeah, with some basic moral rules that make up like a baseline for every other fucking moral situation that people have an opinion on. But yeah, there's a reason why when people disagree, like our disagreements on moral issues tend to stem from us having different experiences and viewing whatever moral problem there is in a different light, through a different lens, our own perspectives, and also the fact that people tend to disagree with one another a lot. We tend to want to disagree with other people, especially when we don't get where they're coming from. But like that's the majority of what makes us disagree with one another on in terms of what's moral and what isn't moral. The fact that we all have our own unique and distinct like perception of the facts, and like we have our own unique perspective that leads us to our moral like conclusions. But then like that's really like our morality being subjective instead of objective is when we tend to have the same moral structure. We tend to like arrive at different conclusions from the same baseline with our own experiences, which are, well, our own limitations. That's how different people come to different results, because we none of us have the full perspective. We just have our own perspective, and different perspectives can call for like different some different shifts in the conclusions we have. But given we all have the same baseline of what is moral in principle, like the basic shit, right? From there we can form the same conclusions if we're given the right perspective and we have the right context. And that's why the only thing that makes morality subjective is the fact that we don't have all the same context and all the same experiences. But then people who are reasonable, who are open to discussion, when they disagree on moral issues, one thing you'll tend to find is that when they discuss these, when they hash them out, people who are open to discussion and to changing their minds, when they talk about moral issues, they tend to settle on an agreement. They tend, as they discuss, as people discuss out their disagreements, they tend to converge to some agreement. It's not like as we talk more and more, well, since we just have different fucking views and there's none holding this all together. There's just subjective morality. There's no objective morality holding it all together to get us back towards yeah, obviously, if as we tend to discuss our views on morality, discussion tends to converge one's opinions to like converge people to have agreements on stuff rather than just distort it further and further away. That's obviously because when people discuss, both of them get more context added to them. They, if they're genuinely interested in finding out, oh well, why does this person think the way he does, not just, oh well, let me destroy him by just like proving him right. If you actually have an open mind, oh well, this person thinks differently because they have different context and information. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe they're wrong, maybe probably we're both wrong to some extent, and we can both learn. When people go into discussions with that type of mindset, they tend to arrive to like just be fucking yeah, they tend to arrive on some like agreement that's like different than their original perspective. But yeah, that sort of shows that if we had all the context in the world, everybody had all the information and all the perspectives, we would know what is super moral, what is exactly moral, because yeah, morality is based on our evolution, based on the objective fact that we can suffer and that we value our own well being. That's what morality is. Like, it's immoral to hurt somebody because we can recognize in ourselves, like, this objective fucking phenomenon of suffering and our care of our own suffering, or whether we are fucking doing well and shit. And we can extend that to other people, knowing that other people feel the same, feel that way too. And again, that can be proven by fucking science that this is the case. And yeah, it's just a 3D version of. Now we know what harms us. That's objective. What is bad for us, we know that. We can tell, oh well, this we don't fucking like. This is causing me suffering. Well, in the same way, we can. But then there's also the distortions of, oh well, is this really good for me? Well, maybe it is good for me, but like I won't fucking find out about it until I'm mature and I realize, oh well, if I hadn't been forced to do this shit that fucking sucks and that I don't like, I would have ended up like. Again, there's a lot of nuance, and a lot of this comes from just like context. You don't have the context. You don't know that when your parents are yelling at you and shit, they're actually doing it for your own well, for your own best interests. And and when you grow up and learn all this extra context, you tend to learn to agree with them. So yeah, the more we hash out our disagreements, the more we tend to come together to an agreement. So that sort of shows there was something on baseline that like yeah, morality. Okay, I made my
Support
point.
slavery. The
Fuck.
Bible says you just have to be nice to your slaves. You know,
Yeah,
oh,
that. Yeah, how would you be nice to somebody by denying them their right to self determination and to, yeah, like that. What a fucking oxymoron. The amount of oxymorons in fucking every holy scripture. But guess what? If I fight, well, I have autism, so and I'm retarded, so it doesn't really count, and I'm high as fuck all the time. But same me, except me not stupid, tried to make this holy script. Me on fucking a bunch of Ritalin, right? Like that imperfect, and yeah, me on a bunch of my prescription pills that make me smart, trying to do this shit. Bro, I would fucking make a lot of that too. There would be a lot of oxygen, like given that huge of a scripture, making the yeah on like my principles for the morality of life, the fucking yeah, that shit would be hell of imperfect because nobody has all the context. Again, nobody has all the context, and the reason why a religion like this would prevail so much would be because somebody who wrote it has a lot more context than most people tend to, or maybe multiple people wrote it. I don't fucking know, to be honest, but yeah, they tend to have more context, so it tends to have more people come to an agreement because this is like a closer view to what everybody thinks, right? But then as times change and more real context that people back in the beginning didn't really know because well, again, science evolves, our knowledge on things evolve, our perspectives evolve. Yeah, it turns out religion doesn't really tend to um like be as like apply as generally when our fucking perspectives change and like modern day fucking yeah, we change with it.
here's another one. This is from
Let's go.
Exodus. I can't pronounce the
Exodus.
word. It's
Oh yeah, Exodus. I remember a bunch of this shit is from like Hypixel UHCs and all. Yeah, okay, let me
E
just shut
X
up.
O D
US.
U
Yeah,
S.
Exodus. that's not very hard to pronounce. I'm sure most names in this are way harder to pronounce. I'm surprised Jesus is. Yeah, it's probably another reason why religion is so prevalent, because Jesus isn't al-Jabbar, al-Kabar, Shintrum, it's like, no, you just worship in Jesus, bro. It's easy to
All
pronounce.
right, 21:7. Okay, look, when a
Damn,
man
this guy did his research. I wonder if he's going to bring up all gays go to hell.
sells his daughter as a slave,
And to be fair, it also might make sense from the perspective of back then, since we were a lot less developed and there was a lot more suffering. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, we didn't have a healthcare system back then, for sure. These people might have sometimes had to sell their daughters because otherwise they would have fucking starved or some shit. And obviously it's immoral, but considering the context and the situation back then, maybe it was. I mean, obviously still immoral, but a little different if they didn't have any other choice but to like either starve. Apparently that happens in some countries of Africa, right? Like where people are starving and shit. They have to have a bunch of kids if they're going to survive, because otherwise, when they're old, who the fuck's gonna take care of them? Because like no free healthcare and shit. But yeah, like sometimes I guess from back then, the only option might have been to sell your fucking kids. And again, the fact that God allowed for that shit. It's like, yeah, what are you gonna do without your self determination, without a chance to get to live the fucking American dream and all that shit, right? Like, I mean, how the fuck are you gonna see enough in life to like follow God and think, oh well, this is that was actually maybe like you being more miserable gives you even more of like the desperation to really need some other story to be true. I don't know, maybe.
she shall not go out as the male slaves do. See, this is
Oh yeah, and the Quran does this shit too. Like women are second class citizens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Elliot Holmes, like the retard who's bald and like should really grow some hair. Like, but what the fuck? The steroids aren't worth it, dude. Get the fuck off the steroids and stop being bald. But like, dude, I don't know why he said that. But anyway, like, yeah, this is he discussed in there's some video where he was also fucking bald. Yeah, there's this world of order in the Bible. Like, there's God, men, women, then children. And then, like, of course, great order. Like, the men should take, both the parents should take priority over the children. Like, your children's well being. No, no, no. Fuck that shit. That comes after you and your family. Like, that's what a lot of poor people who live in America fucking have their mindsets. Like, oh, I'm gonna have a kid. Not for my kid, obviously. Like, they can't fucking, live the best life they can if we're fucking putting the, like, you don't fucking like in the United States. You're someone who's pretty poor. You're not gonna need to have a kid to be able to survive and support yourself when you're older. Like you should have the moral agency, especially since making a kid is a decision that's like you have to put thought into it. That's a human life that like you can't be soft on that. It's a big decision. Yeah, when you consider, oh, I definitely don't have the resources, the money, maybe I deserve to get to be a parent, but again, that shouldn't be a selfish choice. Like, you should never make kids for yourself. This isn't a right for you, it's a responsibility for you towards somebody else that you're taking. It's not a right, it's a responsibility, whether or not you're capable of that responsibility. It doesn't matter if you like deserve to get to raise kids. I'm sure a lot of people with Down syndrome should like they deserve to get to raise kids. It's definitely I get it being some very pleasant. I would want to. I don't know. Like once I get my life settled and shit, I could see the like the euphoria and the idea of getting to raise a kid, getting to like getting to give somebody the best you can offer them, getting to prove yourself. Like I definitely get like the appeal to that, but then again, it's like it's not about you. Like having a kid, if you think it's about you, you don't deserve to have a kid because you're not going to give them the best life. And it's like that's the whole thing with having a kid. As much as I would love to think, well, I'm gonna be an incel my whole life. I mean, no girl's ever gonna want me. But like considering that wasn't the case, I shouldn't get to raise kids if I wanted to because well, I'm retarded and I just wouldn't be capable of being a decent enough parent. But yeah, that's
It's from, I need to pronounce this word,
oh shit.
but that's literally an actual quote from the Bible that says that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm sure the Quran says the same
actually
shit. Women are second class citizens. Yeah, Allah married like his wife at 9 years old.
holding the Bible, reading it right now, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and apparently when Al was like a little kid, he was really in love with a 40-year-old. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you're, I don't know, like a teenager and a like person in their middle age almost, if they fall in love, nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'm not gonna be like, dude, you're underage. This is wrong. This is come. You can fall in love with whoever you want, but there's gotta be consent. And I'm sorry, with a 9-year-old, there's no fucking consent. Alright. There's just manipulation. There is no way, okay? If they're 15, 14, 15, okay, I'll buy it for sure, dude, of course. But this shit, no.
See, and that Bible verse is from Exodus. Okay, do you want me to read it again?
Dude, you should go over the Quran next. I mean, I don't think there's enough. Who knows? Maybe you will, but dude, he would have a fucking blast. I would have a blast reacting to that shit too. It's like there's so much to
When a
fucking
man
riff you on,
sells his
Sean.
daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. See, that's saying slavery is okay and it's okay.
And yeah, women are inferior. Even as slaves, even like the people with the least moral fucking worth and who you owe the least fucking moral consideration to, even they come in fucking hierarchies. And you know what these hierarchies were? Were you born with a dick? I don't know. Well, that's pretty much the entirety of it. How they like, you have to earn your way up. You have to earn respect. No, there's no earning that shit. You're either born with it or you're not, motherfucker. It's not like human rights. So you born on the right side of the border? No, get the fuck out of here, dude. Were you born with I don't, yeah.
Okay to make your daughter a slave.
It's
Also,
like, yeah, you don't earn your way up. You're just fucking born with the American dream, with your fucking right to, oh, well, do you have the right to vote? Like, again, we're fucking exponentially driving away from religion because our rate of acceptance, like, shit that really, like, I don't know, makes a big bulk of what religion is about. Like, the religions we look at, like Christianity, Islam, in terms of that, like, our morals for, like, being more accepting and all, that really goes against these religions, and we're exponentially advancing to be more tolerant. I guess with like this anti-trans crusade, we're sort of going backwards a good little bit these days, but overall, it's like, yeah, religion's not gonna stand long.
dude, I remember this
Like
other
maybe another 1,000 years of even like as long as climate change doesn't fucking like eradicate us, but by then, which like I'm hoping it won't, probably won't,
part of
but
the Bible verse, another Bible verse, when they said,
let's go here
if
with
a
it.
man rapes somebody's daughter,
Oh
they
yeah, they need multiple witnesses, and yeah, I'm pretty sure both the Quran and the Bible says this. Like men and women are not equal in terms of witness count. Like yeah, having 5 women there is not the same as having one man there.
have to
Whatever.
pay the father money to do that.
Oh, so yeah, you can rape someone as long as you pay their dad.
So they're literally
Of course, it fucking says that.
supporting rape. The Bible does not speak
What,
against
bro?
rape.
What? The Bible condones rape and slavery and shit like that? Well, the good thing about all this is, like, people today don't tend to believe their holy scripture, whether it be for Muslims or for Christians. And there's gonna be a lot of hatred against Muslims, by the way, that I've seen with, oh, well, look at what your fucking Quran says. This is so hateful. And it's like, motherfucker, you do realize that a lot of this shit is in the Bible too. You just don't believe in it, even though you follow the Bible, because that's just how people are, right? Like, you don't think that it makes sense, but dude, when people get a, like, chance to clutch to some, like way out of the harshness of life, dude, they cling to it, especially when, oh well, if you don't get this wonderful gift of deception and illusion that you're given, that will make you happier on average. Again, religious people are happy on average. well, the alternative is to go to fucking hell, dude. You like that? Would you rather that than to, I don't know, well, yeah, that will tend to lead people to, oh, this shit says hate all gays, but, it's not really written in there. Just learn the, yeah, just, learn this language that it's translated from. I'm sure gays is like, I don't know, it means something else. They just translated it to gays because they're stupid. And like God, with all his power, he just never bothered to fucking go and correct that for the record that, oh well, we think he hates all gays, damn, we're slandering him, we're doing that shit. And it's like, oh well, on free will, dude, I'm not gonna come in and correct your shit. If you wanna think I said that, dude, yes, you're right.
That's why the Bible's a fake ass book that's not real, and that shows that your God that you claim to believe in is not real. Because why is your God so in
Dude, by the way, I don't really know. I know the two most prevalent religions, so obviously Christianity and Islam, so I don't really know of any other religion. Yeah, the Jewish religion, but then it's sort of, isn't the, I learned this pretty recently, but apparently the Jewish religion is like the Old Testament of the Bible or some shit. It's like, yeah, I'm guessing the Jewish religion and the Christian religion are pretty similar. Like, they're both barbaric in their own ways, but then it's probably like about the same for both, but, yeah, pretty much most religions that are prevalent are pretty damn barbaric. I don't know anything about Hinduism and Buddhism. Apparently, those are a bit different, but I'm guessing they're bad and they're moral in a lot of ways too, and they're probably also like trivially false in a lot of ways too. Because, well, obviously they can't be proven, but like you just assume, well, this is true, and well,
immoral?
all that.
Your God is so immoral, Christians. He's not real. And that's just a fact. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. All right.
Yeah, it's fact because the idea that like if God was real, you'd have to reject the idea that he made this holy scripture, that he stands by this holy scripture. Because if you accept the fact that God is real, all knowing, all just, all of that shit, like I don't know, he made everyone in his image. He knows the past, present, and future, and he loves all of his kids. He made all of his kids, he deeply loves all of them. Oh well, there's Satan. Oh well, what is Satan? Oh well, that's another one of his creations that he made in his own image. That, oh well, now he's not powerful enough to fucking make Satan leave. What is he, fucking retarded? What the fuck is this shit? I thought you were all powerful. Do you want Satan to be there to like what's it called uh to uh to deceive us and shit? Like, you want that? Like, isn't that sort of not fair? Because then like a bunch of your kids, you're sort of letting them go to hell by not saving them yourself. You're just relying on them. Oh well, if you're good enough, you'll fucking see. But then like, well, why would people end up being good or bad people? That all comes to a lot down to luck. Like, there's a lot of choice in it, but everybody tends to believe they are good people. So people don't tend to have a lot of reasons to think, to self-reflect unless they're taught to do so. They like teach themselves to do so early in life, but they're just born that way. So, like, I don't know. I don't think it's all down to like your mistake. I think you're sort of a product of what life makes of you, and God should sort of realize that more than fucking anybody. Like, oh well, all these people who don't believe in God, they'll go to hell. I mean, yeah, there's also yeah, I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah, if you're born into a household that's Christian, of course you're going to be way more likely to believe that you go to fucking heaven, like to believe in God, than somebody who was fucking born in Afghanistan who will never get to leave, who's born with, oh, Islam, the same thing that you are taught for Christianity for Islam. Like, how the fuck are they gonna like supposed to find that shit? And notice how, well, it'd probably be a lot harder for somebody who comes in, like, just assuming that Christianity is like the real deal, and like to go to heaven, if you really deserve to go to heaven, you'll find your way to God, right? But it's like everybody gets to enjoy the same heaven. And I sort of pointed out, like, one of the first things I pointed out when like this thing of, oh well, like yeah, if you don't believe in God, you really do go to hell. Like, so some people, I thought that was sort of a fringe thing. Nobody who's religious in the United States really believes that. Like, Yeah, I found some group of people who they're really really kind people, by the way. But yeah, they do believe, apparently it's not just really French. Yeah, if you don't believe in God, you'll go to hell. But they sort of believe that God gives you like all the opportunities you need throughout your life to go to heaven. And it's like, bro, well, firstly, the abortion, that's a thing. Actually, the Bible sort of promotes it sometimes, but that's a whole different story, right? But yeah, if you get an abortion, you kids, right? If you're religious, you believe that's murder. Well, these kids will never have gotten a chance to be exposed to fucking religion or to get to learn about God. So aren't they going to hell? Well, apparently no. God is all just. They don't go to hell. That's sort of the response I get. So I'll like take it to its word, right? But well, they go to the same heaven that somebody who was really in a was really predisposed to becoming a bad person, with a fight like so hard to become to become a good person, had like the best legacy. Well, they'll get to enjoy the same fucking heaven. And by that logic, like, if you love your kid enough, why shouldn't you just abort them? Like, that they go to heaven automatically, they don't have to face the hardship of life. That's like the best thing you could offer someone. But no, apparently that's bad. But yeah, also, like, about this thing of people, like, all just and all, God will give you an opportunity throughout your life. It's pretty clear that, like, you can go back and forth between being a good person, being a bad person. People can change, right? People can change throughout their lives. There's gonna be a lot of Christians who are gonna say, dude, I was such a bad person. I would have gone to hell, but thankfully people brought me back on the right path. Like, so many people have that type of story. It's not even like too rare for people to be like, oh well, I switched my life around. That was a but well, guess what? There are going to be some, say, a murderer, somebody who was going to go to hell. They'll just turn back. And well, some people, there are so many people on this earth that you can find multiple situations of very similar people. Like, everyone changes over time. Everyone fucking changes over time. You'll find some people who will have been in pretty much the same situation on different sides of the world. One of them will just happen to die that day once, while somebody else will, who was pretty much just like them, is not going to have that misfortune happen to them. And then they might become a better person later on in life. But then that other person who just happened to die before they got to redeem themselves, they're going to go to fucking hell. And it's like, but well, that's not really fair, is it? Like, and this is just true statistically speaking. Like, everybody, life just tends to change you. Like, you will change as life goes along. That's true for pretty much everyone. Maybe once you get old enough, that sort of haunts. But yeah, most people, they will change with time, either for the better, or for the worse. And given the amount of people on Earth there are, and the amount of people who will have died at, say, an early age, people like, I don't know, kids who die of cancer, like, the amount there are, it's like inconceivable, statistically speaking, that if all these people, who had died as like youngsters, like, at that point in time, you still have a long time to develop and to like change into a different person. It's inconceivable that not at least like a decent amount of them, if they had gone to live longer, they would have turned out to be bad people. They would have turned out to be good people, and they just weren't good. It's like people fucking change. And with, like, yeah, there are going to be situations where you can find two pretty much identical people. One will get a chance to get better. And guess what? Again, like, when do you die? Maybe some people, they'll become better people and then they'll die, but had they gone to live another 30 years, maybe they would have changed for the worse. So it's really a matter of, well, you don't decide when you die. That's sort of out of your hands, and it's not going to be fair. Because nobody's going to agree that a child, getting cancer is fucking fair, right? But like, apparently that is God's choice. But guess what? People are going to change. And uh, like, that leaves us with the inevitable conclusion that, well, some people, if like they go to hell, had you given them more time, they wouldn't have gone to hell. It's just bad luck. Like, it is by definition bad luck. This isn't fair. This is, oh well, when do you die? People change, and it's just about whether or not you happen to die And like once you've found peace with being a good person, once you've evolved to that, or whether you die before you got a chance to that, or whether you die as a good person or not, it's just a matter of luck. And again, like that, when would be the best time for you to like? Why would God abandon His kids at some point ever? That's not something you ever like. People, most parents, if their kid dies, they will not abandon them. They won't move on. Like, yeah, you'd imagine God, like, once you die and you go to hell, that'd be the best lesson you could ever pour. Oh, well, all my assumption, I'm guessing the majority of people, they'd probably go to hell because they don't believe, because the majority of people just don't fucking believe, and very little people are bad people, so that's not why they'd go to hell, but um, yeah, if you finally, that's the best chance at self-reflection when you are faced with the reality. Oh shit, well I did something wrong. Clearly, I wasn't a good person because here I go. Like, wouldn't you think that that's the best opportunity to self-reflect? So, like, second chances, isn't that what this is all about? Second chances, you get to better yourself, improve yourself. Well, that's the best chance to pull a lesson from someone. You fucking die and you are forced to face the fucking truth, quote unquote. But like when you finally get to having the best lesson you could pull something from, that's when the opportunity to seize lessons from things ends. Like just as you get to that point, you no longer get a chance to like self-reflect. Something like hell isn't like a temporary punishment. Oh well, you're gonna have to do that. Then I don't know if it was sort of like that, and then you resurrect or something as a different person. Oh well, you were a bad person throughout your life. Well, you get to go to hell and prove, and once you're done with your punishment, maybe you get tested again, or maybe well that was it, and then you get and also people like somebody who's gonna die. So suppose an aborted fetus, they go to fucking hell into heaven because well God's all just, and there's no way they could have even gotten to know about God, right? They won't go to a less great version of heaven, and again, like they just didn't get a chance to be that great person either. So maybe they would have deserved it, but somebody who easily gone into heaven because like life sort of predisposed them to it being easy for them to get that way. They aren't going to have a like less compensational form of heaven than somebody who really had to work for it. And I'm guessing if life is eternal because there's heaven and hell, so your time on earth is the smallest, unimaginably, infinitely small portion of like the life you live. Well, who you are has nothing to do with who you would have been. It's such a small fraction of your life. So, like that's sort of like I don't know, having our eternal fate determined on who we were as somebody who's obviously like God will say people are humans are imperfect in a lot of ways. That's why parents have chosen to take care of their kids. God didn't do that because he's too perfect, I guess. But yeah, like as an imperfect being who doesn't have all the context, who doesn't know everything. Like why would you deserve that? Like for you to go to eternal hell after that, that's sort of like you getting one day that you're starting out. You don't know shit, and if you did good with that day, I don't know if like your first time you get one day playing Minecraft. You get to play one game with a bunch of beginners, and like yeah, if you win that game you're fucking like you're on the leaderboard your whole life, right? Like, doesn't that make no fucking sense?
That shit is fucking
I don't know if that was a great comparison, but
retarded. These people yell in your face. It's it's unhealthy for children because you're taught to fear God and all these
oh
kids.
yeah, so dude, but it's sort of the same thing with Santa Claus. Like, it's just unhealthy for your fucking critical thinking skills because that shit will definitely fuck with your critical thinking skills. But yeah, that's a good fear to have if you're afraid of doing the wrong thing. If you and that tends to like help your well-being too. If you think, oh well, somebody's always watching me, but they are all just. If you really believe they are all just and all knowing and all understanding, like you will empathize with that person more than anyone, and you will want to think that person's watching over you because they will. like give you motivation to be a good person. So
Little kids, being a young little kid, they were like, "You better believe in God and believe in Jesus, or you're going to hell." And it's like, what you should be teaching kids is
yeah, but the thing is, people won't be really like afraid of going to hell, I'm guessing, because again, most people have a pretty high opinion of themselves. Like when I remember Vsauce said this, like there was a poll, he started a video with this. There was a poll, maybe he didn't start the video, but yeah, anyway, there was a poll like who what who does the general population think will go to heaven? Well, the number one answer, well, the number two answer was this person. Most people think this person is gonna go to heaven, but more than anything, the like number one winner by far is most people think themselves they are going to heaven.
you can believe whatever religion you want.
That makes sense. Like to be happy in life, you have to have a high self-esteem. Now, either you go with earning it, or well, you have to, um, like be honest with yourself. You like you deserve this fucking like high opinion of yourself, and you're gonna live up to it. But most people they don't fucking do that shit, right? They just like they have a high opinion of themselves because like that just helps you be happy.
You'll be old enough soon to have your own beliefs and stuff like that, have a mind of your own. But nope, you want to force them to think a certain way. Oh, I gave birth to this person, or this person is my kid or grandkid, so they must think like me.
Hmm.
Like that is
I mean, to be fair, that's not even specific to any religion or even religion. That's
an insanely stupid way of thinking.
hmm, yeah.
Like that is a horrible
That's
way.
fair, but that's also just selfish. That's like, and a lot of people are selfish. Again, like, why do poor people in the United States have kids when like they know they won't be able to offer their kids like equal fucking opportunities? Because if you're poor, you're not gonna be able to afford this and that. You're not gonna be able to help your kids through school because you're pretty uneducated and shit. And it's like, yeah, it's not about your ego, but to some people, clearly it is.
Way
Like having a
to
kid.
actually, teach a kid. They're not going to think like you. They're going to get older. They're going to look at you. They're going to have a mind of their own, look at you and be like, you're crazy, and not believe in the nonsense that you force on them. See, you know, like that's what happens to some of those kids.
I think my mother is bitching at me or something. I don't know
And
what.
some of the kids who actually do stay like a Puritan, like a Christian Puritan or a
And to
religious
be fair, I don't really blame you. Like you tend to stay as you are from birth. Like I don't know what you learn from birth tends to stay with you, especially if you learn it early on. But yeah, I don't really blame these people. I'm sure if you were taught that early in life, if I was taught that early in life, maybe I would believe in it. I mean,
Puritan,
it makes sense.
those people are not masculine neither. They are also
They're not masculine.
considered beta
Beta.
male
Let's fucking
because
go. Yeah,
some
they just are following somebody else. Yeah, like you don't rely on yourself. There's this fucking all powerful being that'll take care of it for you. Just like yeah, serve his will. Be his fucking
of these people are grown adults who are still virgins, but they so Christian. They're virgins,
did he say virgin or virgin?
grown adult virgins who live with their mom,
Yeah, I think he said virgin. Dude, that's epic.
and they're such a good Christian
To
boy.
to be fair, I don't think whether or not you're Christian has like any correlation with whether or not you're a virgin. I have no clue, but
That's how
I don't know.
some of those kids are
I don't
raised.
see why there'd be this correlation.
Have you seen the TV
Okay,
show?
there's probably more Christian kids who are like incel degenerates in the United States than like atheist kids like me who are fucking degenerates incels in the United States because like there's just more fucking Christians. But yeah, in France it's probably the other way around,
Oral,
I guess.
oral.
Like in France, everyone's a fucking degenerate retard. They aren't incels, but they're all fucking retarded and assholes. Yeah.
That show is insane. Okay, 'cause a lot of that shit is based off facts, like, you know,
Dude,
the
I'm sort of zoned
racism,
out.
the segregation, all that shit. I'm sorry, not not just to call like religious people racist, but
I
it.
mean, yeah, why would you call them
Oh,
racist?
Islam is very racist. Islam
I don't even know about them being racist. They're like, yeah, Islam, the religion of Islam, again, not like people who follow Islam, but yeah, its religion is anti-Semite, is against non-believers. But I don't think there's anything about race in like any religion that I know.
actually is racist,
I don't know.
but
Yeah,
that
aren't
was
they just for killing infidels? But then like if you're a fundamentalist fucking follower of Allah or whatever, like doesn't really matter if you're white, if you're black, if you're fucking like Arab, if you're anything, you just have to follow
that
Allah's
was a
word,
piece of plastic
and
that
it's
was
like
in
extremism.
there. That's why you heard that sound. But
Oh, I didn't hear
the
that.
thing is, right? Like, right, the people who are lynching black people, wearing KKK
Who are ancient black
robes,
people?
they said they did it for their God. They were doing it for Jesus Christ. The Bible tells me to.
Yeah, to be fair, different people can like have pretty like contradictory things that they're doing in the name of like the same fucking like religious code follower that they have.
Like, they were using that shit as an excuse. Like, in Africa, they're burning autistic kids who are probably white, because
What? Who are probably white. What?
most autistic people are white, but they're
Fucking, I've never thought about it. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, probably most people I know who are autistic are fucking white. But then, like, I'm guessing most people in the United States are white. Like, gee, I don't fucking know. Yeah, the assumption that they're just killing people with autism in Africa, and these people are like probably mostly white because most people with like that I know with autism, yeah, I don't know. I doubt it. If they're just killing people who have autism, it's probably not about their whiteness. It's probably just
burning
they probably just are killing black people with autism. But even if they were majority white, like people with autism in Africa, it's like they probably wouldn't be killing them for being white. They just be killing them for. Yeah, that's sort of like with segregation. Like when people say Republicans are racist because they don't want to just like have money stolen from the rich to be given to the poor, and it's like, oh well, that would sort of help black people because black people are on average poorer, but then like the reason why Republicans aren't in favor of just communism, stealing the rich's money to give it to the poor, like that's not because they're racist. That's just a correlation. But yeah, I think it's the same thing here. If it so happens that most autistic people are white, even in Africa, and in Africa they're killing autistic people, it's probably not for racial reasons.
autistic children in certain African countries because they claim that their
Yeah,
Bible
to be
tells
fair, I mentioned that a decent bit of time ago. I've never seen an Asian person with Down syndrome. Never fucking seen one.
them to.
I wonder
Some
what they look like. I mean, they already have the slanted eyes, so they won't look a lot different. Would they? Like, yeah, maybe they'll have different slanted eyes. Yeah, I don't
of
know.
the most religious
Yeah, I'm
people
sort of curious. Nah, not
who
really.
claim
No.
to be religious done the most immoral things. Of course, there's
Well,
atheists
also a lot of people who claim to be religious also don't believe in the holy scripture, but most of the time that's probably a good thing because like the things they won't believe in are probably bad.
who've
But
done bad things. Both atheists and religious people have done evil things. There's good atheists, there's good religious people. But they're burning kids in Africa,
yeah, I love how
burning
he at least agrees like there is an objective morality.
autistic children in Africa. You know, think about the shit that's happened to gay people.
Oh yeah, of course
You
that's
know,
there. People are.
the people in the Catholic Church
Mhm.
literally rape kids.
Yeah,
They
fair.
rape kids and they say, well, oh, my Bible.
Yeah, my Bible tells me I can't fuck anyone, so I mean, fuck. After a long time, it's like I might as well just fuck a kid.
You
Yeah,
know, honestly, it's
like
fucked
they
up
won't
stuff.
tell anyone.
You
Yeah.
know,
fair.
Like, you
Yeah, just
know,
like since obviously we don't really tend to care about maintaining that like the fundamental shit in our religion. It's like, oh yeah, we're cool with like, yeah, we're Christians. We just don't hate gay people. Like obviously that's fine to Christians. Like just make it so that priests can fuck whoever they want. Like just make it that change. It's also probably gonna be a good change because like God was obviously wrong on that too. Just like you don't have to take the L. Don't admit that God originally wanted this. Say, see, look, I mean, there was written some like y'all just misinterpreted the Bible again. It actually says that priests can fuck dogs if they want to. That's like their right, just like anybody else, dude. Like the fuck out of here. Why would like God's biggest like the voters have less rights? They should have more rights, not more fucking restrictions. They like, no, that's gay as fuck. That makes, yeah, that makes some sense, but that makes no sense. Okay, no, 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 no. Okay, that it's not like a commitment. Commitment, no, it should come with privileges more than anything. Okay, you get to fuck people and you get to fuck dogs, but not kids. Okay, not kids. Just make that addition and just like gay. Yeah, the Bible doesn't really hate gays. Like you could say that. Just say this too. Okay, I'm sure just it'll even like look good on the Christian religion because there'll be less rates of sexual assaults to be compared with the rates of sexual assault in fucking like trans what's it called, drag shows. To be like, oh well, oh, what's the fucking rate of sexual assault at drag shows? I thought those were like so fucking sexual and all, like kids get abused over there. Where the fuck does that happen? However, in churches, dude, it's like then they don't get to make that gotcha anymore. Okay, like just think about that. It's worth it. Okay, it's worth it to religious people. Just tell priests they could fuck whoever they want, so that they don't fuck the kids.
like for example, people talk about Stalin. He was this evil atheist. He's done immoral things.
This evil atheist. I've never even heard him referred to as an atheist. I don't even know. For all I know, Hitler probably is atheist
Of
too.
course, he was an atheist who done immoral things. Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, because religion doesn't indicate you being moral or immoral, and anything could be justified with religion. Like religion is, it's not like politicians, right? It speaks through both sides of its mouth. You must love God, you must fear God. There is no fear in love. You know all that shit. It's like yeah, to be fair, religious people tend to be happier and they tend to like think, oh well, there's somebody watching over me. I better keep being a good person. But people have a moral compass anyway, and they fucking align with that shit. But some people don't. It's like, yeah, that's across the board.
Was a Catholic. He's done immoral things. So it's like just because you have religious beliefs does not mean you're a moral person. There's
Yeah, I
people
think
who
everybody agrees with that. Like the Bible doesn't even say all Christians go to heaven. It says to reach salvation you must accept God, but that's just a prerequisite to heaven.
don't have
And
religious
like, good fucking thing. Imagine if it was like just that. That apparently some guy named Martin Luther, whoever the fuck, right? Some retard, they were going off of that. Yeah, that's the stupidest fucking religion. You should have to be a good person to go to heaven.
beliefs who live normal lives.
Or otherwise, you should have at least like maybe not eternal hell, but like some form of hell where like you get fucking punished decent. Where it's like just. It's justice. Justice doesn't mean oh well you were a bad person. That's just torture you eternally. Maybe 1,000 years. Okay, if you committed a school shooting, maybe make sure all the suffering that you brought onto other people with your actions, all the suffering that arises from that, you have to fucking suffer it yourself. From all of the people, you have to all bear that on yourself. And then you get a chance. I think that's way more fair than fucking eternal. Like, that's just blown so out of proportion.
See, that's the thing with with paleo cons, the paleo
I
conservatives,
don't even know what paleo conservative and neo conservative. Like, I hear that term so much. I should probably look up what that
those,
is, but.
those type people. They want socialism. Okay,
Wait, what? Paleo consume. I need to look up what the fuck
their
that is.
religion is they're literally like the socialists.
What?
They both want to tell
Explain
you
this
how to
shit.
live your life. They both want to tell
Oh,
you what to believe in. They both want to do those things. Like they're
I mean, to be fair, the idea of socialism, I mean, of course, communism, socialism, those are inherently authoritarian and fascist because you're fucking taking people's property rights away. You're telling them, oh, well, you can't even do whatever you want with your own fucking property. We're stealing it from you for, like, the well being of the people. Well, isn't a better place, a free country where you get to do whatever you want with your own money because your possessions aren't the possessions of the government because you are not a possession of the government because slavery is fucking illegal, right? So, yeah, I'm guessing it'd probably be better to not have fucking slavery, not have taxes like socialists want to put to the fucking max, and not have all this shit. So it's like socialism is inherently fucking authoritarian, but I don't know if it's a like, is it specifically a socialist thing to be like, you have to agree with me on everything? I mean, people who want like a social democracy or whatever, like they don't tend to be in favor of that too much. But yeah, that's just a bit of every ideology as people espousing. You have to agree with me. That's just fascism. That's not specifically socialism or communism. I'm sure Stalin was that way, but like not all communists are gonna be like you have to fucking agree with me on everything. They just want to enforce communism, so they want to enforce this fascist thing. But then having to pay taxes is fucking fascist, and a lot of people who like agree that we should have to pay taxes, even though that's fascism. They still think you should have free speech
they're
rights.
like they're complete like theocrats, theocracy.
Theocrats, theocracy.
These people
Fucking cool, man.
are dangerous. They think America was founded on Judeo Christian values. It wasn't.
I don't fucking know what the hell am I. Maybe, but I don't know, dude. Does that matter? Is that dangerous?
The founding fathers were theists.
Yeah, for all I know, okay, they were atheists. I don't give a shit.
So the
I don't see how believing that or not believing that would make you dangerous. I don't really
founding fathers
fucking.
did believe in a God, but they seen it as not important.
Oh yeah, they created separation of church and state. I don't know to what extent that means they didn't see religion as important. They probably like realized who knows, maybe the British system like exploited religion to do bad things, or maybe they had more critical thinking skills than some. I don't fucking know, but I doubt that religion was just not important to them. Like in God we trust.
See,
And for all I know, separation of church and state didn't come in until after the founding fathers. I think it was at the very beginning. I don't know enough to speak on that,
it
but
wasn't important. That's what it was.
no, it's just that what's important is your religious liberties. And that doesn't mean that Christianity isn't important. It just means that freedom is more important.
Okay, America
Because
is
like it doesn't God fucking value your free will, and it's just like it honestly. I mean, it's not even as if it's a Christian thing or like a thing of the Bible to try to stay consistent. That is like quite literally the opposite, right? But yeah, it like for once that would be pretty consistent. Oh well, what does God value above everything? Above your own fucking well-being, your free will, you get to make your own choices. Oh well, that should mean you get to make the choice to not be Christian if you fucking want to, motherfucker. It's like God will punish you in due time if he fucking sees fit. That's not our job. That's his fucking job. Like, apparently in like Afghanistan and shit, they like use this logic the other way around. Oh well, yeah, you committed sin. Well, it's not up to us to forgive you. You have to like be killed, and then like God will fucking punish you as he sees fit. And it's like, oh well, you just said it's not your fucking like I know I read that in A Thousand Splendid Suns, like when I was in ninth grade, because I had to read that shit. Oh well, yeah, yeah, it's not our job to fucking punish you, but we're gonna fucking punish you because we're fucking retarded. And it's like then God's gonna re-punish you, and he's gonna be like, "Why the fuck did you take my job?" But apparently you, I don't know. It's well, at least they are consistent, I guess, and they think, "Oh, well, if free will is that important to God, maybe we should fucking value it too."
not
But
this Judeo Christian values country. No, it's not. Okay,
I don't
like
know if it
it's
was
not
a
a
song though.
Judeo Christian values country. Just accept that it's a fact that is not. The First Amendment, freedom of religion, means
Freedom of speech,
you
yeah.
can believe in whatever religion you want, not forcing a religion onto people. You can believe in whatever religion you want or no religion at all. But that's all I had to say for today's video.
Well,
All
dude,
right.
that was
And
extremely great and
to
enriching, and I
people who
appreciate
are like normal religious people,
it.
I have nothing against you. I respect you. I don't hate you at all. It's
Nice.
just those certain crazy
Yeah,
religious
the people who actually believe in what their scripture says.
people
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that
okay.
just gives me that type of anger. Like, though those people are stupid. They are that
No,
stupid,
they're just indoctrinated.
you know.
You'd be that way too. If I mean, fuck, he said his family tries to I don't know, dude. Some people just
Like,
mm,
like, it's just I
well,
can't
maybe
be
your
that
parents just aren't as strict on that shit as some other people's parents are.
delusional. Like, a family member dies and they say, "Oh, that person's up in heaven." I can't be delusional like that.
Oh, and yeah, also another thing that contradicts the Bible. Yeah, apparently studies have found if you pray, that doesn't increase your chances of like if you're praying for somebody who's like in the hospital to survive, that doesn't increase your fucking chances of them surviving. Apparently, like in whatever study that was, again, that was pretty long ago. I don't even know where that is, but yeah, there was a study showing like people who like family members who had been prayed for versus who like you don't pray for them. Apparently, there's like slightly like by 1% more, so it's insignificant. It's just because the study group wasn't like fucking infinitely large, right? But it was like I don't know 49 to 51% put like relatively to one another. Yeah, you legit have a bigger chance statistically of having your family members live if they don't pray for you. But obviously, it's just like a slight default in the thing. The reason why it's so close to 50-50 is because, like, on large scales, it is 50-50. Like, praying or not praying doesn't help the outcomes. And it's like, if it's God's choice in the end, it shouldn't even fucking matter if you pray. Like, he's already
You
made
know,
up his mind, dude.
and it's like if that person's up in heaven, why do they still cry? Like your
What?
grandmom dying, you're still crying, but I thought she was in heaven.
Oh yeah, like because you still won't get to see them again. But it's definitely a much better cope than like atheists. They have to cope a lot harder, dude. They have to realize, well, this person, not only am I not gonna get to see them again within my lifetime, but they're gone, gonzos, dude. They're gone for good. There's no more. So it's like, I mean, shit. Even if I believed in God, I would still fucking cry seeing like if my mother died, I would still cry, but I wouldn't fucking kill myself if like being an atheist, that would be very fucking different. Like immediately.
So why are you still crying?
But yeah, it's definitely still a tragedy, but it's not nearly as much of a tragedy, I agree.
See, that's
See,
all I'm trying to
dude.
say.
Yeah, you fucking see, dude.
But that's all I had for the video. See you all later.
Dude, that was amazing. Well, shit, I just had a great video myself.